Hi guys, Paul Seils here. Thanks for joining us. The ancient proverb is "May you live in interesting times." We certainly do that. Robert Deutsch, thanks for joining us.
Are you all quite welcome? Pleasure to see you again, Paul.
Good to see you again. Yeah, you're based in the UK or somewhere at the moment. I think you're
Yeah, I'm currently in Liverpool, England.
okay. I missed you in Australia. I do apologize for that.
No, we was just shifts passing in the night. Just we answered the call to oneness, didn't we? And we just do our thing.
Yes.
I missed you by about 2 hours,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's not like I had a car. We didn't play it at it. You hung out as long as you could. It's all good.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed your
Just
time in Australia anyway.
I very memorable.
Yeah. So let's get down to business.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Bring
is
it.
happening? Because I think the thing is that's important at this point in time, Rob, is that there's a lot of fear being pumped into the matrix at the moment. A lot of people experiencing either fear or I think probably even a
Hmm.
little bit of
Anxiety.
yeah, anxiety, like
Hmm.
you know, postnatal what's I going to say postnatal
Right. It's called
post-traumatic
a
stress.
can I call it, yeah, PTSD? Because you've had some bad events in this area. The last thing I do is say anything with the word Lismore in my mouth.
Yeah,
They said, I'm sure there's going to be a problem. He said,
yeah.
cover that flood. I gave away, it was 8 days warning on that one.
Mm-hmm.
He's very careful about telling people when they could come home and this and that. And you right now over at Burley and Goldie, you are getting the edge of what they're calling the eye. And it's about, we've been over 100 miles wide on
Right.
a opposite guy. It's a really bad moment. The
150
winds,
kilometers.
yeah, with the wind speeds, I have to do this in miles an hour because I'm
Mm.
American. That's how it makes sense to me. So the highest winds that I'm possibly going to pick up is just a little bit to the north of right around where the vortex going to occur over the end between Morton Island and that other one sticks out from Brisbane. Is what I'm
Yes.
expecting to see some water spout action. The high totals are really coming Goldie on south down through Tweeds. Was at Hastings Point down there,
Tweed
Byron
heads.
Bay, but it's going
Yes.
to come inland very fast. And
Hmm.
so I've actually, I'll when I my screen when I pull it up will show you when is it over because that's what I
Yeah.
want. Everybody's asking me. I was
Yeah.
up all night last night. I did a 3.5 hour feed just so I could answer people's questions because there's a
Hmm.
lot of misinformation. Somebody's
Yeah.
saying there was a beam from some ship hovering around. And I'm like, well, if you look at a map, that ship is known as Lord Howe Island, and I'd be very disturbed if it suddenly disappeared off the map. But there's radars that have been upgraded out there that now have the ability to do more than just a Doppler feed. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's what my
Yeah.
research found out, sadly.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing at the moment, Rob, because a lot of people in our community, they're we're pretty robust. And the thing is, a lot like trust, particularly as far as the mainstream media at the moment, post-COVID era is at an all-time low. Well, we
Mm-hmm.
want to know what the situation is, approximate times of landfall, etc., as well, and the severity of it. Because like I said, most of the people in our community, it's like we can handle the truth. We just need to know what the truth is. And
Mm.
I know you're going to share some screens, etc., for us, and we're going to cover a few bits and pieces of information in this
Well, I'll just tell you
half an
off
hour,
the top
45
of my
minutes.
head, right down there at Burley, right now, you're
Hmm.
getting the worst of it. This is
Right.
for you guys the worst of it. It's going to last quite a few hours as it goes inland. It's the wind gusts that really worry me, Paul.
Mhm.
These trees, there's a lot of liquefaction. There been some very high totals already. Yeah, I posted some up on my wall. It's matching what I was predicting when I was counting the tendrils that were being made through these geoengineering methods
Yes.
that I show that we all
Hmm.
deserve an honest answer to what goes
Sure.
on. But I know that that's not
Yeah.
natural.
Well,
But
that'll take
so
out the time. We're
I
just
had
going to
to
be looking.
calculate the water. It's difficult, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
So it took me a while. And so I
Yeah.
stayed on last night just to tell people, try to calm your farm. And I was like accused of fearing people. You know what? If I don't give you enough fear, are you going to go out and do something stupid and then a fireman ain't going to make it home that night? Or
Mhm.
if some lifeguard, no, it just go. Remember, you can stay home. If it gets dark, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't be,
Well,
you'll
everything
be
has its
okay. It's coming through
yeah.
very quickly,
Well,
the
everything
main
has its
paths.
place. Fear has its place as
Mm-hmm.
well as a motivator to provoke people into action and to be informed, but not to
Mm.
overreact as well, Rob.
Yeah, just exactly. I gave enough warning. There was plenty of time to trickle out to the store, get the few things you need for about 3 days worth of whatever you need to do. We got this. We all learned a lot in lockdown about how to go without, didn't
Yeah,
we?
we
And
did.
how to stay inside.
Yes.
And so I'm not going to go in a rabbit hole. I just know that I gave you plenty of warning, and I got
Hmm.
ridiculed hard because I wasn't matching up with the Saturday everybody was saying, because I was seeing things that through the years of watching geoengineering, my goal is to just look at the pictures of the clouds and tell you the weather again, like I did when I was a kid. I can't do that anymore. I have to look at lots of different things, but I'm finally getting to the point where I can look at a worldview image if they
Hmm.
allow us to see it without pixelating it or whatever.
Yes.
And I can see the different layers of the atmosphere that have different flows that are impossible. You
Mm.
know, I know the vortex of a natural hurricane system.
Yeah.
And I made a huge mistake with your categories. I had to say that because I had no idea you guys had a man flu your thing, as I called it. It'd be like a fever for people in Australia is 98.9 instead of
Mm.
like getting up there in the hundreds. They got what you got now is the
Yeah.
whole world is listed as a tropical storm. And
Hmm.
it's very damaging. I'll tell you, your shorelines gets way they built up right on the shore. It's like you put a cliff. Where's the water going to drop? Right
Yes.
straight down, right on the esplanade. So I'm very happy to hear that people react.
Yeah.
Okay, you ain't gonna use that much toilet paper this week, idiots. Some of the stuff is in the heroics I'm seeing from people. You know, it's been it's been fantastic. I saw
Yeah.
one guy just jump into the water to get someone else's dog. Why was that down? It wasn't his dog. He was willing to die for your pig. I watched a kid get snatched out of the surf. These things don't need to happen. It's
Hmm.
sometimes I ain't take no fear. I said, I'm with you guys. I said, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't had
Yeah.
150-mile-an-hour winds go over your house with all your trees falling down like I have. I know what a category 5 is. I know what it does. You ain't
Yeah.
never seen one. You ain't never seen one. Get with the rest of the world. Only 2 countries use this sell climate change tax agenda of chaos.
Hmm.
And this thing has been so aimed and directed. It, and there's a lot of lies about that, probably I say. I
Yeah.
cannot prove what's this company that's going atmospheric. I can't prove this. I saw it on
Atmospheric.
Twitter. It's real thing. I
Yeah.
can't prove it. So there's a lot of looking into that. Because if they
Okay.
did that and there's this much damage, well, maybe that means we don't do geoengineering no more. Right. So I
I might
want to
do a
know
share
about
screen.
that.
I'll do a share screen and we'll comment on that anyway, just to,
Yeah. And a couple of
but,
things
but,
about me you don't know. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm a sciencey guy who went to university, knows his physics, and I study geoengineering. I
yes.
study it. I watch it. I know cloud dynamics. How do they reproduce a natural system? And it fascinates me. And I look
Yeah.
for the natural system. The day I stop doing that, I'm not keeping it real. So when
Mm.
you want some screen sharing, I'll be happy to
Yeah. If you could,
oblige you.
that'd be great.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
going to
yes.
filter
Let's
through
do
some of
that
the
because I
questions and
know you're a
sorry.
bit limited in time. It's not letting me do the entire screen, so I'll be in and out. This is yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, I've got it's all. Why did they have to put that there? It's got all my controls there. I'm gonna collapse a picture of myself in the corner. Oh,
Mhm.
fudgicles. Hey, that was pretty good. Yeah, I'm trying to find the screen share there. I'm trying really hard to keep my Tourette's triggers down. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try this
I
again. It's
appreciate that.
because of where our picture is on this screen. Okay, I wanted that corner. I need to be able to get at the controls. I just want this picture up here. That'll
Uh-huh. So
a
we're looking
little
at
yeah, I
windy.com
don't
here,
care
yeah?
if you see a picture of me. I just want this on.
Yeah.
But it was putting a box on the top with everybody's names on it. And I want it gone because it's fudging me on this, my friend.
That's
I
okay.
did I did a broadcast just before I came out. I'm going to try again. I will not be beat. What I have on my screen there that I'm trying desperately to share. Why ain't it
Yes.
doing it? It's asking me for some layout. Oh, how about that? Okay. And that and share. It's my first time having
Hmm.
a new. You want to share that document? I really am having a difficult time getting this to click in. I
That's
don't
okay. So you're
understand.
sharing the screen for windy.com. Is that what we're looking at here?
Yeah, because it's got a thing that says layouts on it. I'm trying to do this, and then I hit share, and nothing happens. Yeah, I always, do you see my screen?
I
Or
can
do I
see,
have to go like this? Do you see anything now?
yeah, we're seeing, you've got the pointer
Are
there
you
with,
seeing, are
yes,
you
you're zooming
seeing
in,
a
yeah?
mile per hour speed?
Yes, 23
Okay, I'll
miles
do it
per
from
hour.
here, but I won't be looking at you guys. All right, here's now, right this minute. All right, what you're looking at there is near the end. And this is fair accurate. I'm not understanding how the isobars don't go from 1006, 1004, in increments of two, like they're supposed to all the way down. And I gave it some thought. They've got so many circulations, like those 3 6s I showed, and I can get to them too. It's just a cloud formation of dynamics. You see, that's tropical storm. That's tropical storm. That's tropical storm. If I go over here to the tropical cyclone page, and I hover over this thing here, you'll see that it says tropical storm because that's what we have it listed at. And I can even click that and then go look into the dynamics of the storm. Hopefully it's
Mhm,
loading, the screen is turning white.
mhm.
Okay, then I can hit the mimic on it and see what was the manipulation for the last 48 hours of our friend Alfred. So you see
Yes.
it's way off coast, and I look at the degree lines. So you see the manipulation start
Okay. We're not
where they
seeing a
held
chart at the
it
moment.
back, held it off the coast, held this off the coast, and they're holding it off the coast. And then they whip the bottom and it gets fast. Your first batch of rain came through, right? Then this beam held it and it's holding it now. This is
Right.
just at landfall now.
Okay.
As
We're
the
not
eyes
seeing any
coming
charts at
in.
the moment though, Rob.
Oh, fudgicles. Okay, well, I'll have to find a different way to show that. Because I was showing, so it didn't go to that screen.
No.
Okay, let me try. I
We're
have a
still,
manipulation screen, and I wish I had done this different in practice. Oh,
Murphy's
that
Law,
should.
Rob. It's fine.
Well, no, no, no. I know you're
Our
limited
community is
on
pretty
time.
forgiving.
So let me try again because if at first you do not succeed, because it's going to open this in another window. As soon as I click off it, it might take it off. So watch this. I'm going to have to do something a little more clever.
Mhm.
I have to download that. So that takes a minute. I should have prepared that. I
It's
didn't
fine.
know that it was going to be so difficult. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to go back and share the weather part because I can
Sure.
access that screen real quick
Yeah.
and I got this. So let's go back to. So I go back to my main here. Here we had a windy up over here. See the thing coming down on the top? Get away. There we go. That should get me back on that screen. It's really playing heck out of me today. Oh, okay, here we are. I'd rather go to the radar because this is right now. This is what's on your sharp. And as it
Okay.
comes through the
So we've
next
got you now,
48
Rob.
hours, it's
So
going to
we've,
be out.
okay,
It's
we've
going to
got you,
be
Rob.
out.
We don't have a screen or anything at the moment.
Oh, man, this is a disappointment.
That's
I
fine. Just,
should have practiced this.
yeah,
God, now I can't even find the Zoom. Okay,
that's
let me
all right.
try it again. I'm not giving up. That's why I've been in this fight for decades.
That's it.
Just to covering your weather, you guys, you know that, right? So where's the
Yeah.
button that does this? And I'm not used to the new Zoom. I just downloaded this today. Okay, I went this, and I want to share it, and that'll be just a final layout. Now I'm over here. Yeah, 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 I'm over here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back over here again. Is that better?
Yeah, that's
Now,
better.
if I could just get at these controls. Hey, look at that. I'll just stick this in the corner. I could go to the radar, what's going on. And this is that band coming in. It's a big batch of moisture, but it's running to a beam line that's come down from the north here and another one that's come from the south. The EMF from the next red radar shows up fair well on the 6 hour feed.
Hmm.
It should load pretty quick too, because I had that on just for it went on with you again. As it was coming in, everybody's been pointing at this beam down here in Grafton, excuse me.
Yes.
Getting the two guilty stations and like if I had the screen different, then I could show you the station on that's doing it. Actually zooming on the map. And it's going this direction, then that direction. Right here, then here. So that's telling me the air is pinning it towards the coast, which has pinned this stuff to come over here towards Kaufman, right? It separated that tenfold.
Hmm.
Now, they had a big gap came down of EMF, and then let all the chem out not in it. And it's like a Swiss roll, my friend. It just like collapsed on itself. Or if you had a wedge under a roll or something and it was going downhill and you just moved the wedge, it's going to suddenly move and fast. And when I said they're making a third eye and they're walking it, that's that move. And as soon as I seen that, I knew how fast they could move this. I watched them do it in Acapulco.
Right.
Yeah. I watched them do it in many, 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 many storms. I said, oh, they're walking the eye. And through years of watching, I got my own terminology. So what we're looking at here is some really, really heavy condensates coming ashore. And that's packing a wallop of wind. This is where you're going to start to see your heaviest surf. Sets up. It's dark. Okay? Don't do it. Film it. I'm going to behave. So really, you've got about 48 hours of absolute mayhem, because the gusts of the winds is my biggest concern. And you're still looking at it through some of these areas in here over a third of a meter to calm. Right, I could have gave you that in inches,
Right.
But I decided to play nice.
Third of a meter. You're talking about 330
It's a foot
mils.
of rain. Yeah, roughly 3 centimeters on an inch.
Yeah.
One knuckle is an inch usually. The king's knuckle. 3 barley corns. Okay, I'm showing you now some of the quick totals. I got to move you back over here again. This is fair accurate. I'll zoom down a bit and just hold it over just one area so you can see some. I'm going to
This is in
take it to
current
the
time,
end.
Rob?
It's coming through fair. Yeah, this is right now, the current data. This is what's now. This is the tendril coming in, right? And these tendrils that they split, and it's going to be split by this island over here. What do you call that? Martin Island? Yeah, Martin Bay bugs. So this is over. This is how much in 3 hours can fall in this tendril. So that tendril, if it even takes 3 hours to come across your area, there's 48 right there. Millimeters. Yeah, I'm going to behave. This area here is my biggest concern right now. Is the Mawillimbine, the river down here that comes on out. Because I've seen what happens there. I've driven all through this area, and all my friends up at Ukai and all that. This is a heavy, heavy tendril that's going to come over the top of you. So that's going to lead to some totals. And I'm going to let this run a little bit more and to give you the whole event. Because I find this one to be fair accurate. I don't know why it's doing it. There's always something happening. Oh, maybe if I do that.
Yeah, so we're talking about that catchment.
I didn't know I had. Right, this area here is happening. Oh, look what I can do. Does it go away? Ah, man, that's what I'll make it go away. I get this. So this is again. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That area is of big concern, and I had that mapped out there to be over a third of a meter coming, and it's coming quick, very, very, very fast. I have to get the totals back up. And this thing then, half this tendril's racing north towards this area here. I wish I hadn't have done that. Can I erase that?
Yeah, so we're looking at Northern Rivers area around.
Yeah, disregard that, Mr.
Lismore.
Squiggles. Yeah, this has got to go back in towards that area that they want all that housing and stuff for the 2032 Olympics. That area, Ipswich and all this back here has got a big tendril to come off because of what a Venturi effect that's going to occur to suck stuff through this island here between this passage. Right now, the EMF is holding flow off here. As soon as the EMF is turned off here, that comes through. So I'm waiting for that move to happen. But it looks like it's going to happen at about, they're going to let it go down south towards Tweeds and Burley first, get a little bit inland, then let it all catch up. And you're going into a bit of the cattle country with this one. As I head into what this is the we had a little practice with your times a little bit ago. This is Saturday at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon in that area where Mr. Squiggles is. And it's notorious. I really wish I hadn't done that. It's gonna distract my mind. And this thing has come over for hours. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's do it start to finish. How much is over here of the big one? We'll count that 2 hours is one of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you got a dozen of roughly times 3. And that puts you in over the half-meter range still to come in over there, Clown Town, all acting like, did you want to buy the raindrops? It's why this storm is so dangerous. It's because they're moving it around that well.
Yeah.
And the totals that were amassing for this area, and I won't call any totals after that Saturday to be fair accurate, because we don't know
Mhm.
what the geoengineers are going to do, because they're going to send some of this south towards Sydney and that. So I
Right.
have to then have a good look for them. It'll be another, it's not going to be a sleepless night. I'm
Mhm.
going to get me some. So it's going to lead to, yeah, terrible totals. And like I tell people, whether you're getting 200 mils in a day or 500, it's nowhere can contend with it. There's not a dam that can hold all that. And this is till it's out, or this area here. This is really what I expect to be your maximum totals of this event. And come by about this time here. When do I step seeing anything at all? Let's just say this time here is about 2, 3 a.m. So on the overnight hours between Sunday and sunrise Monday, that'll come to an end. You'll have to
Right.
watch for down power lines, tree falls, watch your travels. Don't risk safety workers, please. It's
Yeah.
don't. There's no picture we need to see there, but there's no sight you have to see in person with your eyes that some traffic camera isn't showing you right now. And you can go
Mhm.
out here to Windy, I can click this thing down here and I can see things, right? I don't have to go anywhere. Okay, so I invite you to learn about traffic cameras and save your life and save somebody else who would be brave enough to help you. Because there's some really kind people in Australia, I gotta say.
Mhm.
What else did you want to see? I gave you radar, I gave you tolls, I gave you wind. Wind's important still to keep
Yeah.
tracking. As we get in towards, I showed you what was initially happening. Like right now, you guys are getting the really, really high gusts and winds and the waves and the blowovers. I'm not 100% sure your high tide time tonight. So you got to keep track of that kind of things. As the
Sure.
ball of wind moves up your coast, surf is up right over here, man. Go over here. Here's where you're going to want to be. I know I ain't supposed to tell you to go over here. Yeah, there's some places over here you might want to investigate, especially right about here, Dickey Beach. So bring your film crew. It'll be daylight. I'm sorry, I gotta look out for my surfer friends, kids. If we're all talking
Ah,
about how we're lowering ourselves and I'm telling
Caloundra.
you how to have fun,
Yeah.
okay, so it's really going to move to you fair quick. It's going to dump a big total, and then you'll be like, "What happened to it? Where did the pressure go?" Right?
Hmm.
I'm here through Sunday, and the storm ain't there. It's just pure momentum now, carrying everything in, being channeled like a beam. A beam, moisture comes between. There's nowhere to go. It's like putting cardboard down in front of pigs. You could run them right through a sluice, can't you?
Yeah.
You make it with two people. Well, they're sluicing it with EMF walls.
Hmm.
What other questions might you have?
So yeah, so high tide. So high tide's 8:22 a.m. and then
Yes.
8:42 p.m. Queensland
Like
time.
wave heights along the coast is going to be quite dear, even as going into Saturday. But right now, you're seeing about the worst. You're going to have the storm surge. So again, this area,
Yeah. Around
don't
the
do it.
Tweed Northern Rivers, yeah.
It's dark. It's dangerous. This is a really bad time to go disaster tourism. It's not nice to do.
Mhm.
No,
So
if you're
from
going
what
to
you're
go do
saying,
that,
sorry,
pardon?
Rob. So what you're saying is it looks like it's sweeping like west north.
Well, if I put yeah, it's coming in like I wish I could put Mr. Squiggles on better, but I don't want to tempt that. It's this storm is rotating like this, right? They
Yeah.
put so it's let's say this is that island, and I've got it blocked. So everything's got to stop. So this has to go around here, and that button up against that's got to shear some of it off. All of it can't make that trip around. Then
Mhm.
I let that go, and a suction occurs like when the air going through a carburetor will pull fuel up out of the bowl and bottom. It's going to suck it through there, and that's going to be the guiding line of crush. And a couple days ago, I keep mapping this corridor of EMF that keeps appearing. It's going
Mhm.
to ride that right on in, and that's the tendril that's going to come over. And whether the condensates go over the tops of the big buildings, like going up a mountain and then drop on the other side towards that valley area, Ipswich and all those places, the Bruce and all that is probably a likely scenario to keep some of the flooding out of the city center. But the water coming their way from the west is you're going to have to deal with that. And after the rain stops, the Lismore and these other areas, you got rain coming their way, Ballina, from other places. So really, you're going to have to part of being in your arcs is you're ready and you're aware and you know stuff, and the knowledge only you're going to provide. You know the local stuff. And I'm here. I told you that if I
Yeah,
have to sit here all weekend, drink coffee, and ease minds, I'm going to do it.
sure. We'll stay on top of it. So there's a couple of questions here as
Okay.
well, Rob. So Elise
Yeah,
said,
please do. Just ask away.
okay, great. So when can we expect something to happen in Brisbane? Currently no clouds and was sunny prior to
Yeah, but
sunset.
I'd have to give me a moment. Let's have a quick look at the satellite itself. Because they're holding it off. It was looking to me like you had about 24 hours for you get a really big smackaroo. Yeah, that's about right. Maybe let me put this somewhere. I'd like to shrink this box. I don't have to see myself. I have to go back to that other screen. Give you Brisbane's exact time. It's
Yeah.
because your rain is different than your wind.
Yes.
Okay. I'm expecting water spouts and stuff. So watch out for tornadic activity, and these gusts of winds are no lie. You should be starting to be impacted by the winds probably within a few hours.
Hmm.
And some of the rains as well, because it's coming in, the eye's right there and they've done the move, but it can't bring that long stuff. That's very long. All that's got to equalize for it to move. That's
Yeah.
the problem. It's that long. And they could just keep doing a method that makes these things that are looking like the sixes in the storm. I have to put it like that. I ain't like Damien or nothing, but I tell you, when we're fighting a battle of good and evil, there will be visible signs, won't they? It's been said by many prophetic things and people.
Yes.
Signs of the time says we got to look out for ourselves. And so
Mm.
maybe I finally, my little gift in life is learning how to tell the weather in your area. And what
Sure.
other questions? Just fire away, because I know you got
Well,
another
I know
thing
there's
to
other
do.
questions coming through. I'm going to do a
Yeah,
share on
please
this
do.
really quick. You might or might not choose to comment about it, but
That's okay. Let's do
just
it.
let me find this really quickly. And
Yeah,
I
no
know
problem.
some of the people in the community have been commenting on it. You may, like I said, you may or may not. This company called Astroferica. So it's
Yeah.
interesting. So it's if we have a look at here, they talk.
Atmospherica is
Oh, sorry, that's
I'm
my bad.
very, very aware of this thing I've never not been able to prove yet.
Hmm.
It's a bold claim. It would
Yeah.
also sell the idea of geoengineering. I can see many reasons why. Who would want to say that when it's been a disaster? If you guys would not, you wouldn't be able to go to the pub no more. I
Yeah.
think regretfully forget it. No, I can't prove that one. I can prove there's something called aqueous years
Okay. Well,
back
I'll
that
just
sells
comment on
sunny
this as well.
days.
So we won't go
Yeah,
into
I can't
detail
prove
about
that
it,
one.
but this is
In all
this is the
fairness,
website for atmospherica.org. Atmospherica has pioneered a suite of weather programming solutions designed to address disaster avoidance and risk reduction challenges. These innovative solutions serve vulnerable communities, responsible
Mhm.
governments, agencies, private companies, businesses, and families alike. So you can just, if you go to
I'm very aware.
Astroferica,
You read it out. Do you want me to unshare my screen so you can show it?
I think I'm showing it at the moment.
Okay, because I've
Yeah,
got, okay,
let me have a
cool. I'll
look.
just stay as I am because I finally figured out I shared it.
Yeah, I'm
What I
sharing it
need
at the
to
moment.
prove this one is basic. To do geoengineering in a country, you have to have permission from the government. You show me there's seal from the government that says they could do it, because Aqueous has it. There's Australia Weather Services could do it. Just people that are even putting a flare on a mountain to make it snow gotta have a certificate. And the
Yeah,
ones for cloud seeding all gotta have it. And him over there admitting it's beam is just telling us everything we want to hear. And I can't prove this one yet, and I'm
yeah.
dying to. So we
Well,
gotta
we
have tax numbers, right? I want to
yeah.
see lots of things.
Well, I don't really talk about in relation to specific companies or organizations and that sort of thing. Someone just asked as a side conversation as well.
What this?
Mutu asked,
Good question.
how do they like how does geoengineering work? Just I know it's a long conversation.
Ah, wow.
Yeah,
That's a loaded question. It
yeah.
seems to be working really well. I'll give you a loaded answer. You got to get, you got to reproduce natural weather. You want to make a cumulus cloud, then you got to farm that cloud at a certain level of the atmosphere. It's only supposed to last 15 minutes or so, 10 minutes. They just come
Hmm.
and go in an area, right? They used to use dry ice They tell you to use the silver iodide and stuff, but on a lot of the documents I show you stuff, I never see that mentioned. It's always sulfur, sulfuric acid, titanium oxides. We pick up aluminum, barium, strontium. Those things, if I hit them with enough electrical frequency, they'll glow. They'll make an artificial aurora even. Hint, hint.
Yes.
Purple lightning, much green lightning. What chemical does that? Those are barium salts.
Mm.
And it's a way that propagates EMF waveform really good. And boy, does it pull moisture into itself, or has hygroscopic properties because it's a salt.
Right.
Yeah, every
Okay.
element on that table can become a salt of some kind. You have to know this too. It kind of stuff blew my mind. So go ahead, keep asking, fire away.
Yeah, so Ange has made a comment here as well. So scalar technology, not necessarily geoengineering, frequency based, et cetera, et cetera.
Scalar waveforms come in many forms.
Yeah, Rach is here as well. Rach and Rod.
Yeah.
Hey, Rach and Rod. The real Tesla tech. Yeah.
Like harp. Harp is a scalar waveform.
Okay.
The woodpecker platform that Russia had, it stood straight upright and everybody was picking up a tick, or the ones that was targeting the embassy of the US diplomats that they proven was a mind control thing. They come from those type devices, a harp.
Gotcha.
Like when I saw it fire the other day and I went and looked at harp. There's a
Yeah.
difference between them and the next rads though.
Yes.
Big difference, big difference.
Okay, just something here as well, like Alexandra, like how do we stop it? How do we disrupt it? What's available?
First off, you got to say no to geoengineering. The
Yeah.
proposal is solar radiation management, excuse me, solar radiation management, what they call SRM, is litigated through the Paris Agreement, must be defeated. It's part of a trade deal. It has to go. And it's all your taxes. It's like you need vitamin D in the sky and they're taking, and the forest needs sunlight to live
Yes.
properly. And how dare us yet tell another species that's so beautiful and harms none of us. It's just there. You don't come running in your house and popping you on the head like we do. I ain't worried about a home invasion for that conifer out for it. But so you know, we've made these decisions without us getting a vote. Again, it's another informed consent. If when you read through that document I popped in, you'll see that a lot of the ones say they don't know what it's going to do.
Should I share that document, Rob? Is it relevant?
If you want, I think I could go. I could do a presentation on pop your link, or I just want you to read through that. I go over this live a lot.
Yeah. What was the name of that document again?
It's called the Paris governance document, CIGI 111. You want me to pull it up?
If you can do the share screen of the cover.
Do that. Let me just find it on this.
Share the cover. Give some people some
I go
bedtime
into
reading.
my Google and I type in this CIGI 111 geoengineering. This document's going to come up. You'll find anybody could find this. It's a very what they consider a reputable document to have. I wonder if I can collapse this. That's what I wanted. If I can click on that, I've already popped you a link. So Paul, make this available to you. So as this opens up, you'll see this Paris Agreement governance document with Mr. Squiggles is just slam stuck on my screen. Let me see if I can get rid of this. That is really bothering me. What do we do to get rid of that? There's it is. Hi there, Mr. Squiggles has gone away. He's the little brown turd. Gone. Yeah, that was a good description. Now, look whose name this is. This is the governance document, Paul, that is put together by.
Gotcha. So sorry, Rob, what's the acronym for CIGI? What's that?
It's the name of the organization that puts together peer-reviewed papers. And this is considered peer-reviewed, all of this, every bit of it. It's the meetings, everything to sell, the blocking of the sun. And I got to say, Paul, the Simpsons. What's this guy that prepared this document's name?
Mr. Burns.
C.G. Burns. Yeah, I know. I couldn't make this up. It makes even kind of looks like the guy in Indiana Jones that burned his head. That's all I'll say about that. But one of the most smoking gun pieces of evidence comes from right over here. See if I can zoom this up a bit. On page 13, you'll see the sulfur aerosol injection right here, right? Down here, there's a paragraph right here. Last sentence, first paragraph. Potential delivery vehicles for stratospheric sulfur dioxide injection include aircraft, artillery shells, stratospheric balloons, and hoses suspended from towers. Now, I think a lot of it's done with these two methods here: the artillery shells, which would be like sounding rockets, uh, things you see them fire in the air sometimes in China to get their weather how they want it, which they've admitted. I don't
Mm.
see silver iodide listed here. And what really disturbed me, Paul, is when I
Yeah.
went down to the bottom, they did a U.S. House committee back in 2009. It happened in December, and they published this February 10th. And I go
Mm.
down here and I see, you know how we talk about preformed nanoparticles? They
Yeah.
say it. Suggestions of injecting preformed nanoparticles. And what's this other word? Other chemicals. So it's like calling them chemtrails because of this document, because they call them chem. They say it's chemical. What's this chemical they're proposing? Is titanium oxide.
Right. Titanium
They
oxide.
have proposed putting bicarbonate in the sky that when you mix it with the aluminum and the acid in the sunlight, it makes something called aluminum hydroxide. And that makes a milky looking hazy fog to the sky. I
Mm.
know it does, because you can mix this in a glass. You don't have to have a huge lab. And there's a lot of things in here to look at, lots of them. When we talk about there's a ship out at sea, you hear me mention it sometime?
Hmm.
It's a program called Marine Call Brighton, right? Where
Right.
they want to change the reflectivity or the albedo of the atmosphere. And everything is right here. All of all the research, all the peer-reviewed things. Stratospheric sulfur injection. And they say they don't know what it can be doing. They say it can cause harm. They say it could change ecosystems. It could cause droughts, or I don't see it doing anything mitigating this storm,
Mhm.
because the totals that I gave you are the totals that are showing up. But it has a strange look that to it,
Yeah.
Paul. It has a
Uh-huh.
look like this. I'm just going to have to redo this. Marine brightening Australia. Let's just do Australia. I won't go with the Harvard one. We'll do the Great Barrier Reef run. You find this website with this both, and there's lots of different ones, and it shoots stuff in the sky, and they study the plumes and track them, and they end up with this look. Does this look familiar? Do the skies look familiar to you?
Yeah.
When I tell you there's a ship, there is. And
Mm.
what's this name here? This isn't a this isn't a joke. Oh, Mr. Squiggles ain't totally gone. But I just keep going. Need
Yeah.
a boat. What's in this thing with the tarp? It's covered up. And the poor people on there are trusting that what's on the label is actually what's in the barrel. And I don't. I really,
Mm.
really don't, Paul. They want
Mm.
things tested, even for the safety of the workers. I could put this side, show them moving, but I don't want our video taken down for licensing reasons, right?
Sure.
A missed an opportunity. Let's just put this around in a truck on a mountaintop somewhere. I don't know what that hosing is something. Nefarious even, or who's washing the tanks? Where's the due diligence on the health? Like I would have to do as a level 3 food hygiene. And where's the paperwork? I want to see it. I want to see it. Don't you?
Yeah.
We're supposed to know what's in our milk, in our cereal. Well, we deserve to know what's being pumped in the sky by philanthropists. That's who's funding this, and it's being litigated by a United Nations of corporate interest. I'm just
Mm.
showing some of the times and some of the heavy falls as they're coming through the afternoon Saturday for you guys. Right, this is Saturday afternoon in Brisbane itself. Once the flow comes through, and a lot of people are concerned, as rightly you should be. But you're prepared. What are you worried about? You're Australians. You're some tough fuckers, man. Oops, sorry.
Mm.
I tried. I'll rein that in. I'm getting passionate. I took Tourette's trigger.
Uh,
And then Dorigo, beautiful waterfall pictures, but don't go taking no pictures right now. I told you this, right? And I got a forecast I just put up. I want to stop sharing a bit. My head's about to fall
yeah.
in wash. So I'm wash
That's
from
good.
days. I'm happy. It's so happy I could answer questions. Anything else I can answer off the top of my head?
Yeah.
I'm not a meteorologist. I never served in the military. There's been like 8 years in the history of the United States they didn't have war. I never splintered my soul with having to do that, like making a whole
Mm.
bunch of Horcruxes. So,
Mm.
yay. Yeah, never did that. I'm not a licensed meteorologist. None of that. I'm a guy who cares. I love your country, man. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful. Anybody ever ask me why I care about Australia? I think, hey, why don't you? Why would you ask that?
Yeah.
The list is longer than a hurricane is or tropical storm.
Great stuff, Rob. Well, I appreciate your time. I'm going to close out with a song really quickly.
Anytime.
Yeah. I'm just going to close out a song with these guys,
Awesome. I like what you
TFA,
said.
and I hope everyone's well. It's allayed any concerns. I hope everyone's prepared in that regard. We don't want anyone having any additional stress and anxiety than necessary. Be prepared, be responsible, be alert, and look out for each other. Yeah.
He said share.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, share.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob. I'm going to close out for questions.
Check on the old folk in your neighborhood too.
That's it.
Please.
Beautiful. Well, just stay with us, Rob. We're going to get some
big love.
questions
Do you mind if I jump off here?
No,
awesome. Love you guys. You stay safe. I got fish to fry.
Okay, mate. Good on you. Thanks.
I was born in a small town where the streets know your name, where secrets hide behind smiles and power plays its game. But there's a fire burning deep, a truth that won't be dismissed. Like a whisper in the wind, saying you were born for this. When the silence falls like night, don't let your heart be still. Stand up, raise your voice, fight the fight with iron will. For such a time as this, we're not meant to fade away. Like a queen who dared to speak when darkness held its sway. Esther words in chapter 4, verse 14, call a song. We were born to break the silence. Now's the moment to be strong. In a world where crooked leaders hide behind their lies, we see through all the compromise and all the practiced alibis. She once stepped out into the storm, though danger was in sight, risking all to save her own, to bring truth into the light. When the weight of wrong seems heavy, don't you bow your head, let your voice echo like thunder. Speak up for what's ahead. For such a time as this, we're not meant to fade away. Like a queen who dared to speak when darkness held its sway. Esther's called a timeless spark, reminds us what is true. Stand up against the power, let your inner fire shine through. Every broken promise, every lie they spin is a call to action, time to rise again. Our hearts are filled with courage, our words like sharpened steel. No more suffering, this is our time to heal. For such a time as this, we're not meant to fade away. With every voice united, we're turning not today. Remember Esther's fearless stand, her message loud and clear. We were born to be the outcry, and now's the time here. So grab your truth, your hope, your song. Let your passion lead the way. For such a time as this, together we'll see today.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Much love.